Welcome to GREYS, your one-stop shop to finding winners across Australia from the world of greyhound racing. Host David Shortte is joined by Harry Buchanan from the Greyhound Insider, Jaycin Campbell to look at Queensland and Tasmanian chasing, Hall of Famer Neil Brown, Sean Matheson looking at South Australian chasing, New South Wales expert Simon Orchard, and the Shane Train Williams rounds it out with his key plays and kennel mail in WA. Now, over to the team for this week's edition of GREYS.
Good morning and welcome along to GREYS on this Thursday morning, the 18th of April 2024. It's Sandgroper night here in the west. The punters are fizzing right up. We have got one spectacular evening of chasing to look forward to tonight out there at headquarters. One man that's had his eyeballs all over it, Harry Buchanan, about to join me. And H, welcome as we welcome you in. The big launch there yesterday at Optus Stadium for the Western Trilogy was absolutely first class, and there is a real buzz around town, particularly about tonight's event to kick it all off, the Sandgroper.
Yes, good morning, Shorty, and good morning, listeners. And it's been a monster build-up, hasn't it? And we've been on this for quite some time now, since the Perth Cup, basically. And the build-up the last few days has been absolutely superb. The promotion's been second to none. Yesterday out there at the luncheon, yourself and Pete doing a great job out there and getting all the interviews out there. We've done a lot of work on social media, a lot of previews, and it all culminates tonight, Shorty, and we've got one fantastic race. It's just a great addition, and I think it's one of the best races we'll see this year, and I think it's that race because every dog could win. There's, 8 dogs there that probably, if they got the gold, wouldn't really shock anybody. So there's been a lot of different opinions, and we're just a few short hours away from finding out who's going to get the job done tonight. Cannot wait. It's going to be a great night.
It really is, Harry, and going through the race yesterday with Pete, that when you break the race down, I've spent a few days watching the last sort of 20 races of each of the dogs that are going around in the big race, and there's just no shortage of quality. All 8 of these dogs have proven themselves to be outstanding chasers in their own right. And I think just being able to work out exactly what that start looks like and how things pan out. The first sort of 50 to 60 metres are often very important in most greyhound races, but in particular this feature tonight, there are a bunch of early splitters. Are they all going to nail the start? Who's going to be able to hold that position into the first corner? It's going to be absolutely magnificent. I'll take the punters through the Tab Touch fixed odds market in the race. Big Energy, 205 has been as big as 215, back into 205 now. Explicit 460 as big as 550, back into 480. Morton from box 2 has been popular the last 24 hours. $7 out to $7.50, now right into $5. The Tab Touch representative. Trooper Tears, well drawn out wide on the track. 7 out to $8.50, back into $6.50. Fernando Phil's been a really big trim up over the last 24 hours or so. $15, now right into $8. Mapunga Smokies trimmed right up. It was as big as $23. It's now almost half that at 12. Hector Fawley, 14, as big as 15, now 14. And the local in Sunset Frazier from box number 3, 14 out to 16, now into $15. Plenty of movement in this market, Harry. And while there is a $2.05 favourite, if we do see Sunset Frazier step and close off boxes 1 and 2 early, it opens this race right up. It's going to be magnificent.
It certainly is, Shorty. And just listening to the movers there, I can't remember a Group 1 race where you've had a box draw like 3-4 days ago, and so much movement and fluctuations with a quality field like this. A race, a Group 1 race like this, or a Group 1 level, normally sort of finds its spot pretty soon after the box draw, and they all sort of find their space where they are in the market. There's been so much action here, and that just tells you how open the race is and how many different opinions go into this Sandgroper tonight. Big Energy, 215 with Tab Touch. It's rock bottom. It is absolute rock bottom. His trial was superb, and it's been well documented. He's got the box, but I've said it a few times. I've said in my preview, Shorty, it's box 1's not what it's cracked up to be if you make an error. And I'm not saying that the dog will make an error, but he's got the most electrifying turn of foot waiting for him in box 3 in Sunset Frazier. And that dog not only goes really quick, he needs that fence badly. You'll just see him keep pushing across and across until he gets it or he gets the front. And he can do a lot of damage here to both him and Morton in box 2 there. That then opens the race up. But in saying that, Sunset Frazier's been missing the start. So if he misses the start, he's going to go quick and then it'll get very messy. And it's going to depend on what Big Energy does at box race himself after that. Fernando Phil, he's the smoky because he can step and he can go quick, and Sunset Frazier could set this up for him. But it's Trooper Tears, Shorty. He's just sitting out there smoking the pipe, and not saying he's gone unnoticed, but I'm a little surprised he's not sort of pushed in second favourite at the very least here. And he's a very fast dog. He's proved that previously at Kennington, 29.4, and he's just gone about his business quietly. He can show early speed. He's last couple of runs, he's been stepping well. He's been getting up there, and most importantly, whatever's going on near the fence, he's not going to be anywhere near it. He'll just wait to assert his authority up the back, and if he's close, I think the only dog he probably can't run down is Big Energy or Explicit if they're going to get in front of him. Apart from that, I think he's got the rest covered. But I'm hoping and thinking he could be the first dog behind Sunset Frazier here. And at $7, $2.25 with Tab Touch, he's each way all day. I've had to put the line through Explicit. Look, if he wins tonight, he's a megastar. Don't worry about that. And he already is a superstar. But he has got one enormous job in front of him in the run to the first turn. Hector Fawley, he gets the first turn luck if there's any messes, any trouble here, and he sort of slots into it and tacks on up the back. Look out. You know what he's like on the run home. So many different angles, Shorty. There's just, like I said, many different opinions, many maps, many options. I'm going to stick with the 7, Trooper Tears. I'm just going to hope he gets up there and holds his spot, and he can absolutely be in the finish from there.
Absolutely, and it's just the key is as long as it and Explicit don't find each other, and that's if you flip them. I was chatting to this to a number of different people there yesterday at the lunch, and if you flipped Explicit and Trooper Tears around, I think Trooper Tears would be just a phenomenal bet in this race. There's just a small part of me that says if Explicit comes out like we've seen it come out so many times and there's that little bit of bumping early, there is a small prospect that it can halt the momentum of Trooper Tears. That's the only thing that stops me from thinking it's the dog that's just sort of locked in to getting the job done. The two sort of really interesting things for me, digging right deep into the race, so that number 3, Sunset Frazier, and I've watched, like I said, the last 20 starts, so 90% of the time, even when this dog misses it, it musters so quickly and it just finds the rail, and that's potentially going to make it really, really jammy for Big Energy and Morton. But the one thing that Big Energy does have in its favour, and again, going back and watching the last 20-odd runs, this dog, when it did have box number 1 there, winning the shootout, 5:02 early, the split was outstanding. And then the Melbourne Cup heat from box number 2, 4:97, that early split. So that's probably the thing with Big Energy. If it steps to that level, those split numbers, they're to a level that Sunset Frazier is doing here locally. So that's, if you're on Big Energy, you're just hoping that with that inside draw, the dog runs to that 4:97 or 5:02 and is able to not allow Sunset Frazier to get that length in front and close over. But, there's going to be a whole lot of heat in the kitchen going into that first corner.
Yeah, there is, and you make an excellent point there with Big Energy. He is capable of dropping that first split. And I've had people ask me what Sunset Frazier's his equivalent split would be over at the Meadows and Sandown, and it would be right up to Big Energy's, probably better. I'm trying to line them up. They both trialled last week, and Sunset Frazier, he again went 5:35 to the mark, and Big Energy, he was in the 5:40 bracket. So there, and that was on sort of the early stages of a 29-25 trial. You have to really concede that was, nearly his top first split, especially with his run home. I just don't know how much more Big Energy's got. And Sunset Frazier, as you said, even if he misses the start, he just got the most electric turn of foot off the mat. He goes very, very quick. And look, you've mentioned, again, Trooper Tears and Explicit. They could find each other. 3 finding 1 and 2. These dogs in the middle, I'm not saying they're being dismissed, but they're not They're not being spoken about probably as much as they should. If all this is going on, there's nothing to say Fernando Phil just doesn't waltz to the front here, lowers his 29.6 trial and runs away with the Sandgroper. Or Hector Fawley gets the run when there's any trouble. He whips around him, puts him to the sword, and you saw what the Punga Smoky did in the Perth Cup final. So I'll tell you what, Shorty, we could throw 7 darts here and still get it wrong. And that's how good a race it is, and I just cannot wait. It's going to be absolutely superb.
Absolutely, you're spot on, Harry. And look, even I know that you analyse things and you're very forthright in your opinions in regards to sort of trying to put lines through dogs and line races up. But Richo gave me a bit of a clip yesterday when I came off stage because I did literally give a chance to every dog when I went through. But that's my honest assessment of the race. It's just
you have to.
There's such high quality chases that it's very difficult. And the fact that the box draws panned out where it has. These middle dogs are really mapped to get lovely runs, and no surprise to see Mapunga Smoky 23 into 12. No surprise to see Fernando Phil 15 into 8. And Hector Fawley, I spoke to Dennis Denudo there yesterday, and he said of all the dogs that are there in the setup at the moment, he said this dog has settled in like he's been here and he's living at home. Absolutely, really comfortable. He's loving his environment. And we know he's such a strong dog as well if he gets the look. So there's just, if you like something in this race, I'm not talking you out of having a bet. It's going to be a tremendous race. And there's a lovely first 4 carryover on the race. I would think this pool's going to be massive tonight, and it might be a good way of going about trying to have a really good interest if you don't want to knuckle down on one particular runner, maybe box up your key prospects or rove something. I'm roving Mapunga Smoky. I just think that Perth Cup run for me, the dog was all but going to land in a prominent position, poleaxed to the back of the field, and then came again to run third and hit the frame. Had a chat to Jeff Britton yesterday in regards to this dog and sort of said to him,
come back, Shorty. They're racing at Rockhampton.
The lead. Going to second, Bold Pedro. Shemetti third, the fence. Devil Kick. Cotterbaroo went back to the rear. They lead the 1,300-metre mark behind them. And Finding Commando is the lamplighter, shows the way by a length and a half. Bold Pedro is up running second the outside. Shemetti third, the fence. 2 lengths at the back, then Cotterbaroo. Devil Kick is back last of all. They go to the 1,000er. And at a neutral speed, Finding Commando shows the way by a length and a tail. Bold Pedro still running second. Shemetti third, the fence. 2 away, then Cotterbaroo, Devil Kick. Spin that record, play it again, Sam. No change in the order, 900 to go. Finding Commando attempting to burn the candle at both ends, shows the way by 2 lengths. Bold Pedro still running second. Shemetti third, the inside. 2 lengths of the back, Cotterbaroo, Devil Kick last as they head up behind. 600 to go. Well, Fighting Commando, he should have something in the locker. He shows the way by a length and a half. Shemetti is about to come off his back. Bold Pedro's 3 deep. Devil Kick's coming to the outside, and then we got Cotterbaroo. Fighting Commando just in front. Shemetti, he's trying hard to get to Fighting Commando, but Fighting Commando's had that easy run out in front. Fighting Commando too clear of Shemetti. On the outside, Devil Kick starting to close. Bold Pedro, Cotterbaroo, but Fighting Commando leads all of the way. Fighting Commando, the margin 2. Devil Kick runs second. Shemetti third. Bold Pedro fourth. 5, the last one over the line, Cotterbaroo.
3, 5 and 4, and Fighting Commando 760, 350 from Devil Kick at $2. Shemetti in third, and it is NTD.
You're listening to Great Greys on Tab Radio.
Indeed, we were talking all things Sandgroper for tonight. What a spectacular race it promises to be. Yeah, I was just finishing off on that, having a chat there with Jeff Britton yesterday. The most recent run from Mapunga Smoky was a little bit flat, and it's probably the worst run it's handed in for a little while. But he did say that the dog settled in really well, and it was only beaten 3.5 lengths in the end in a Group 3 race. So it's not a terrible run. Back to Cannington, he said he just loves this track, this dog, and it's right there in the mix. So there's so many ways you can carve it up, but it will be an absolute beauty. 3 minutes past 8 tonight there out at Cannington. Good luck if you're getting involved with the Sandgroper. What about the remainder of the program there? 8's tonight out there at Cannington. Who do you like on the card?
Well, I'll tell you what, Shorty, it was hard to get around this card with all the focus on the Sandgroper, but there are a couple of bets here, and going to kick it off in race 4 here with number 6, Vander Harley. Now, the form probably doesn't say back me, but look, she's had a few placings and a run of placings in much, much better fields than this. And her issue is she's such a good beginner, but she's got absolutely zero early speed to back it up. So she just needs to sort of stay out of that early battle, hop over to the fence. She can run home in those sort of 11:20s when she's on, and this will be the sort of race where she could just run over a lot of these. And if she gets a first turn run, she's going to be really hard to stop. I note that she was currently around the $7 mark yesterday with Tab Touch, and that was an extraordinary price for a dog who I thought was, probably should be half that, because the map here suggests it's going to be messy, and this is her sort of race. The Sandgrope, as I've touched on, I'm sticking with Trooper Tears. What I will say, Shorty, if Explicit does win the race tonight, I will bow my head and put the hands up and concede that he is a megastar, and I want to put that out there because I have been vocal that I have put a line through him. And if he does win the race, he will get, all the accolades I can give him. So can't wait for race 5. It's going to be the feature, and the big one tonight. It's going to be absolutely outstanding. Race 7, number 5, Arbolino. Really promising young dog, this fellow. And he's really suited to a small field. We've got the dog in 2 here, Apple Crumble. He goes quick. Just struggles at the end of that 500. Fidel Pronto won well last week. Only 30 and 26. You line that up against Arbolino's 29.83. He's going to be hard to stop here. Clear run up the back. He'll round these up. He'll put them to the sword, and he'll get the job done. And then down to race 12, number 3 here, In Her Mood. I backed her last week, and she ran 4th behind 3 very good dogs. The 3 dogs that actually beat her, the one that did win paid in full. He's a really promising type. Cherry Blue was in there, and I thought her effort was really good. Tonight, she could probably lead off box 3, and if she does lead this field, she'll be very hard to catch. So that'll be the key plays there. There'll be a lot more go up on the blog. I've done the whole card for the blog today, but they'll be the focus tonight. Race 4, number 6, race 7, number 5, race 12, number 3, Shorty.
Beautifully done. A Sandown this evening as well, 8, something there for the punters?
Yeah, absolutely. Just 3 quick plays there. Race 1, number 1, Kipton. He had his first 600 last week, and he was very, very good. Goes to box 1 here. He improves. He's been well backed. He's very, very short. I'd like to see him get out to that $1.80 mark. I doubt that'll happen, but with those scratchings now, he's only got the 4 rivals. He's going to be very hard to stop. You could throw him in a multi or 2. Race 5, number 2, Piccolo Bale. He's very promising. He's getting better and better. His run last week behind Buddy Manelli was excellent. He ran him down to a length and a half, and he was actually taking a bit of ground off him. Buddy Manelli, of course, free-for-all dog, and a dog that's been in many, many features. He's got a good box here, Piccolo Bale. I think if he lands close, he's the one to hold out late. Finish it off with the king, Archie Bale, race 6, number 8. Well, we've got 8 weapons going around at Kennington tonight, Shorty, but the one that's on a different stratosphere at the moment is this bloke. Goodness me, he's just doing ridiculous things on the racetrack, and $1.80, I think it's quite generous, to be honest, and he had a 600 last week, back to 500, and as you know, that gets my attention straight away, and he's out where he wants to be. He's going to be very hard to stop. The form he's in at the moment, I don't know how they're going to hold him out. Race 1, number 1, race 5, number 2, race 6, number 8 at Sandown this evening, Shorty.
Beautiful, Harry. Look, great catching up with you this morning here in the build-up to the big race. You've done a wonderful job. Well done as well. If punters, if you've got time between now and tonight, tune into the Coast to Coast podcast from yesterday. Harry and Neil, our man, has just done a wonderful job, the pair of you, in analysing this entire meeting. We thank Neil greatly. He's been tremendous over the Perth Cup period, and then again now in the build-up to the Sandgroper tonight. Neil Price, he's a beauty, and the work that you've done together there in that preview yesterday, elite. All of the blog stuff there, runner by runner from Harry for tonight's feature race, and of course the rest of the meeting covered as well. It's all there on the Tab Touch blog. Look forward to analysing the race with you tomorrow afternoon, as well as getting into finding a few winners for the weekend with the punters on the mail collection tomorrow afternoon. Enjoy the Sandgroper tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Shorty. I'll speak to you tomorrow, mate.
Good man. There we have it. Harry Buchanan with us this morning here on A Great Greys. Let's throw back to Matty. We'll get the dividends from the most recent race there at Rockhampton. Really early start to their program. They already had 4 under the belt. Matty took us through the divs for a race number 4.
Fighting Commando 760 350, Devil Kick $2, Shemeti NTD, Quinella at 14, the Exacta 1910, Trifecta 8720, 3542, first four 238.70, and 5-3 race to race pays 12.60 in the double, to the sub 178 out, and weight or otherwise to come. Hawkesbury is next, their first event. It's in 19, and $1.95 here, Summer Soiree with Tab Touch.
This is your home of the Greyhound Good Oil, Great Greys.
Where it's time to catch up with Jaycin Campbell, have a look at the action tonight at Albion Park and Hobart. Welcome to you, JC.
How are you, Shorty?
Going really well, thank you, mate. The town's abuzz across here with the Western Trilogy. Of course, the Sandgroper tonight. It's going to be some sort of race. Have you had a look at the field?
Yeah, no, I have. It's absolutely jam-packed. I just listened to Harry there talk about Yarchi Bell, and I guess he was... unfortunately, he found form probably at the wrong time of the year. But other than that, he's probably got arguably 5, 6, 7 of the best dogs in Australia. And as these slot races normally throw up just better fields, I think this field is arguably better than the Golden Easter, obviously barring McKenna and a few other dogs in that race. So I can't wait to tune in and watch tonight, race 5 at Cannington.
It's going to be an absolute beauty. Plenty of other good chasing going on, though, around Australia tonight. Take us through your thoughts for this big program up there at Albion Park.
Yeah, got to head to race 2. Playing the one dog here, Springtime Sun. Admittedly, he hasn't placed since returning from a 1-year hiatus, obviously due to some sort of injury. However, I think he gets his chance here tonight. He's just drawn middle to wide boxes in all his starts back over this track and trip, and he hasn't begun too awfully in a lot of them, but he just hasn't been able to find the arm in much better competition. Sets back down to Masters Company here, and he's drawn particularly well in Box 1, where he is a 2-time winner from his 8 starts. Box 2, Midnight Bandit, and Box 3, Sheaves and Clover. Neither of them have much speed, so I think he gets his chance tonight to find the arm, and if he does that, he's a winner over 600 metres, and he should prove pretty hard to run down.
Alrighty, so race 2, numero uno, Springtime Sun to kick it off. On to race number 8 on the program for the next of your plays.
Yes, another numero uno shorty, Blue Hornet here in the 1 box, obviously. He has been a dog that has let down punters in the past, and I think he might do so again here tonight on the flip side here, currently as the 3rd favourite. He returned to Albion Park off a bit of a hiatus there since contesting the Golden Ticket Series behind JSJ, and had absolutely no luck. Begun quite well for him and got smashed in that first corner, so I'm happy to put a pen through his last start run. He drops back here to 3rd and 4th company, and he just gets a really nice map here. The likes of Our Opals and Super Scrub both need to lead to show their best. I think they'll just turn at each other, while Blue Hornet can get the drop in behind them and prove very hard to hold out late in the piece.
All right, so we're teaming up with a Hornet in race number 8, number 1, Blue Hornet. And the 3rd of your plays, we're saving the best till last tonight there at Albion Park.
Yeah, well, it's worked in recent weeks, shorties. Hopefully we can keep good times rolling. Race 9, number 2, Jumping Jive. This dog has completely jumped out of the box since returning from a 5-month spell. He's had 7 starts, winning 5 of them, and placed in last week behind the really talented Taylor Hayes, who run a cracking 29.70 odd best of the night once again there. He's gone particularly well in box 2. He's won his lone start from this box. There doesn't seem to be a lot of speed around him. He just has a lot of dogs that are starting to rise in age, drawn around him, and they just don't have that, that zest in their legs early to keep up. So I think you've got to find a pretty comfortable lead here. The only danger being probably the 6 dog here, Plum Puckett, but she's got a pretty ordinary map here, and she did miss the kick, albeit winning at Ipswich last start. So I think Plum Puckett could be in a world of pain for box 6, and Jumping Jive will be off and gone, grabbing the chocolates for us late in the night.
Very nice. We team up with a Jumping Jive, race 9, number 2, the best bet on the program at Albion Park. What about down there in Tassie tonight at Hobart? You keen on any there?
Yeah, keen on 4 dogs, actually. Very, very, very confident, especially later in the program, but I haven't missed. And I haven't missed this first one. Unfortunately, I missed the opening price. Race 1, number 4, Midnight Grand, opened up double digits on most bookmakers, now into $6. He was quite unlucky in his first start. He drew box 2. He jumped quite well, however, got crossed early in the piece, and that won that race. Buster Scruggs run a personal best and best of the night, 1930 odd. So that's a really sharp run. It's about 3 lengths off the track record down there. So I think Midnight Grand, he's had the month off, most likely in preparation to step up to this 461 metres. I think he maps quite well. Every dog outside him wants to use the track. whereas Tagline in box 3 flops out. At worst, he probably sits on the shoulder of Call On Me, but if he leads this race, he could give us a big side at a nice price.
All right, so around that $6 mark on the fix with Tab Touch, race 1, number 4, Midnight Grand. Then on to race number 5.
Yeah, I thought this was the best bet of the night, Shorty. Obviously quite short, but that's what you get in a 4-dog field, especially with a lot of space around you. Clairvoyant, he returned from a 6-month spell in backing order. It was a ripping win 3 weeks ago over the 340 metres. He flopped out, got checked, looped the field, and just really put him away impressively late. Steps up to the 461 metres here. I must admit, I have been refreshing the screen, waiting for this dog to get back in over this distance. And, yeah, he's drawn very well here. He likes room to move. He's got to get plenty of that here. And Count Bingley, he's only in danger. He beat him by 6.5 lengths 3 weeks ago. So I can only see Clairvoyant winning once again.
All right, Clairvoyant, it's like we've seen it in the past. Race 5, number 6, will get the job done there. On to race 8.
Race 8, number 2, Harden Up Johnny. Clear class runner of this race, I think, Shorty. Box 1, Move Your Feet, has good early speed. I think it'll bring Harden Up Johnny into this race. If not, Harden Up Johnny could just completely burn her off early, find the front and be too good. Boxes 3 and 4, they both want to use the track. So I think the third danger, My Girl Tanika, will be a bit hard done by here. And I'll just quickly roll through this last runner here, race 10, number 8, Gracie Flyer. I know you've got a very busy night ahead of you, Shorty, so I think she's really well boxed here in the 8. There's just nothing in this race that I think will give her a challenge. Admittedly, those last 3 tips I have given Shorty are $1.50, but I think they'll all win, and you can probably multi them all together and get a nice result around that $3.50 mark.
Fair enough too. Race 1, number 4, Midnight Grand's the value there at Hobart. Maybe roll the other 3 up in some multis. 5, 6, Clairvoyant, the best of them. Race 8, number 2, Harden Up Johnny. Race 10, number 8, Gracie Flyer. JC, outstanding as always. You've been in excellent form over the last 4 to 6 weeks or so for the listeners here on TAB Radio and Great Greys. We appreciate it very much. Good luck tonight. Hopefully you can continue on that great form, mate.
Thanks, Shorty. Enjoy the night.
There we have it. Jaycin Campbell with the latest. Matty, we might swing back to you for the latest. Of course, we're not too far away for our next race for broadcast here on TAB Radio. It will be the first of the day at Hawkesbury. Comes up at 10:40.
And paying at Rockhampton, it is correct weight there on the 4th. And in race number 5, the favourite at the moment at 3:30 is Come In Spinner. Hawkesbury in 11 minutes. And firming further, Summer Soiree now 190. Out to 460, Bianco Nero, and then 9 into 480, Outcast Girl. 550 to 7, now back to 650, Negronis. This is the first leg of the quaddie, and 10:40 is start time. I'll be entering the mounting yard soon. 11 minutes away, the opener.
You are tuned into Shorty and the team on Great Greys.
Well, it's time to catch up with the Hall of Famer in Neil Brown. Brownie, welcome to Great Greys on this Thursday. Lots of Vics have taken over WA, 7 of them going around tonight in the Sandgroper.
Yeah, looking forward to the race. High quality field with outstanding chasers. So interesting race, and should be coming back our way. Or good luck to the Sandgroper that's in against all the Victorians, David. But some outstanding greyhound racing right across the nation over the next few days with the Easter egg and the Geelong Cup, and plenty of high quality greyhound racing. We've got a solid card tonight at Sandown, David.
Absolutely, we have. Brownie, let's get your thoughts on that meeting tonight. First leg of the early quaddie gets underway. 5 minutes past 4 WA time. We front up to a very warm favourite in the form of Kiptum for Brooke Ennis.
Yeah, I like Henry Intention. There's a couple of scratchings in the race, made the small field, and I'm only going to take two and one. The favourite with Henry Intention I've got on top in the first leg of the early quad. 515 metre grade 6 and 7 race in the second event. I thought number 2, Mapunga Tully, would be the one to beat, nicely drawn. I'm going to take 3 and 1 as well, so 2, 3, 1 in that second leg of the early quad. Race number 3, 515 metre grade 5 here. I thought Sparkling Rose might be the greyhound to beat, drawn out wide. Also giving claims to Tiger Geordie there, and the 3, Eliana. So 7, 6 and 3 I'm going to take in the third leg. Race number 4, 595 metre grade 5 here. Very competitive race. Plenty of chances. I'm going to take 4 of them. 4, 8, 6 and 3, and I've got Diwana Fernando on top, being consistent without breaking through, might be due for a win. Heading into the main quad tonight, we've got a wide open Grade 4 race. All greyhounds are nicely graded here, all the same grade over the 5-15 metres. I think there's plenty of chances. I'm gone 2, 6, 7 and 1. I do like Piccolo Bale's last performance last week was quite good. A solid run behind Buddy McNally, beaten a length and a half. I think nicely drawn. He might be the greyhound to beat, but certainly chances to Bo Rhapsody. If he comes out of a box, he's certainly a chance. Spot Fox also got some claims in the race, and Lyrical Lassie on the from the red box has also got a claim in the race too. So wide open first lead, 2, 6, 7 and 1 for us. Moving to the second leg race, number 6, 5-15 metre free-for-all. Solid race here. The Melbourne Cup winner, Yachi Bailey's been in fantastic form, going around the meadows in very high company, winning his last 3. I think he looks well suited here to win, and I've got him on top, number 8, to beat 1 and 3. Here comes Artie, the kennel mates. Here comes Artie, and here comes Millie. She's won 4 or 5 races here at Sandown. And now the greyhound drawn in box 1's a chance, I think. But he looks hard to beat. Archie could find a nice position here and continue his solid form that he's been in of recent time. Race number 7, good race here, over the 5.95, a mixed stake for the 4th and 5th graders. I thought it was a battle between the 2 greyhounds drawn on the inside. I've got Fernando Duke on top. But I do think Jamie Bale's got a very good claim in the race. Both these greyhounds have won their last couple. Certainly, Fernando Duke, he's been in super form. He's won 4 of his last 5, and he has a best here of 34.15. I think he's the one to beat, but Jamie Bale will test him all the way. I'm going to take 2, 1 and 6 in the third leg. Coming home in race number 8, pretty difficult race, David, over the 7.15. A lot of these greyhounds don't race over this distance very often. I think there's plenty of chances. I'm going to take 2, 7, 8 and 1. I've got Hello Par on top. I just think he might be the best of these over the distance. He's got some solid couple of runs, a good second behind past mark, only beaten 4 lengths last week, puts him in good shape for this race tonight. But certainly chances of the greyhounds drawn wide. Do you want a sensation? Big Smoke, Fox, I think they've got chances in the race in the red with a bit of luck. My market could feature as well. So we'll take 4 in the last week, coming home with 2, 7, 8 and 1. Looking for a little bit of value, David, and looking for a bet I think can get home. I like the odds of Duckworth in race number 10. He's quoted as about 350, 360 at the minute. He's won 4 of his last 5. 2 of them are here at Sandown. He's drawn beautifully in box number 1 in really super form. Duckworth at a bit of value at 360 will make our best of the night at Sandown. So good luck and good punting, and I trust everything goes very well for my friends in the West with their big meeting tonight at Cannington, and looking forward to the Sandgroper coming back home to Victoria where it should be.
Now, Brownie, have you got a pick in the big race? I know that I must admit I've spent hours and hours and hours going through this race, and I keep coming back to the point that the field is so good quality-wise that literally it's not going to be a surprise to see any of these 8 runners win it. We could barely have put together a better field, in my opinion. Have you got a leaning towards one in the big race?
Well, I'm a big fan of, look, there's, as you say, David, there's a number of chances tonight. It's a terrific race. I have enormous respect for the Greenos, as you know, and I'd be leaning towards that way. But, gee, it's hard to pick one out, isn't there? Look, this could go 4 or 5 ways. As you say, it's not going to be, easy to predict, but a good race indeed. And one thing I'm pretty sure it'll come back to Victoria, David.
Yeah, you've certainly got the numbers in your favour, Brownie. I think you're pretty safe with that one. But you never know with us. Our greyhound that is going from box 3, Sunset Fraser, it can run that early split. If they jam up behind, well, crazier things have happened. But it's going to be some race. Really appreciate your time as always, Neil. Looking forward to our chat again next week. Good luck over the next couple of days. Thanks for your time.
Good on you, David. Talk to you next week, mate.
There we have it, the Hall of Famer Neil Brown with us here on a Great Greys, where it's now 25 minutes away from 11 o'clock. Matty, we're only 5 minutes away from the first of the day now here at Hawkesbury.
Tote favourite as they go to the start, Summer Soiree in the first leg of the quaddie, $2 number 1, 7 Outcast Girl 4, 6 Bianco Nero 5, and 5 Negronis at 7. And that's the order in which Fixter's got them as well, with Summer Soiree now at $1.90 after hitting $2.35.
This is GREYS on Tab Radio. Go, you good thing.
Yes, we'll be cheering hard for a few good things tonight there at Angle Park, as well as SA over the next few days. Sean Matheson joins us to have a look at all of the action across there. Welcome to you, Sean. How do we find you today?
David, yeah, fantastic. Great to be on the show with you. Really looking forward to tonight's racing. I heard you talking to Brownie there just at the last part about the Sandgroper tonight, which is going to be wonderful to get such high quality racing from Perth on a Thursday night, aligned with like our Angle Park program, which will be terrific. And you've got a wonderful lineup there. And we've got our heats of our Anniversary Cup tonight, which has drawn together a super group of dogs from interstate and locally. And so for any greyhound enthusiasts, tonight's the night, I think, for greyhound racing.
It's so exciting. You speak of the Anniversary Cup heats. We get to see the very talented Peaky Boo, who, of course, was so very good there in the Launching Pad series, taking on Scalacci, an American Queen, in the first of those heats. Adana Rico takes on Kai Bale and Fantastic Spike in the second of them. And then in the third of them, Riot Rooster, who's been flying of late for Benny Rawlings, chasing 4 on the bounce tonight up against Zali Keeping. Buddy Manelli gets across from Victoria, and Divine Nature, who's been a really nice type for Maddie Lanigan there as well. You'd be delighted with the fields that you've got tonight there for those Anniversary Cup heats.
Oh, most definitely. We obviously just increased the overall prize money to $50,000 for the event. And we've attracted, as you mentioned, some wonderful greyhounds. Scalacci effectively made his name coming through the Derby series leading up to our Group 1 Adelaide Cup. We've got Charmaine Roberts here from New South Wales, possibly just taking the opportunity, obviously with the Golden Easter Egg running, getting run out of some of those heats and semis and coming across to SA and having a look. And Maddie Lanigan as well, who always supports SA racing. So, and add to that, our local dogs, as you mentioned, who have been going wonderfully well throughout our local racing, like at Hana Rico and also Peaky Boo, putting SA, back in the forefront with the Launching Pad performance. So, yeah, those 3 heats, we are so excited to have them on the program tonight and can't wait to see what the final is going to bring next week.
Indeed. We've got a couple of minutes to go until they jump here for the next race for broadcast, race number 1 of the day at Hawkesbury. So we'll make a start on your best bets tonight at Angle Park.
Okay, so all 3 best bets, but all at pretty decent odds, I think, here, David. So the first one's in race 3, number 4, Mapunga Roz. Probably helps with the 5 dog on her outside coming out, but she's been a model of consistency. She's been placed, her last 3 starts behind Majestic McLaren, Fantastic Spike and Peaky Boo. She now finds a race, Grade 5 company, probably a slight drop in class to what she's been running against, and should get a nice run across here with the 3 Blossom Michelle, who shows some speed. I think Mapunga Roz can lob second, really, and from there she does have the middle distance form to get over the top. So I really like her on top. She's around that $3 mark, so I think she's going to be really hard to beat.
All righty, Mapunga Roz on top there. A minute to get your bets on here for the first of the day at Hawkesbury. Punters, our favourite Summer Soiree. On to the second of your place tonight at Angle Park.
Second goes to later in the night, as we mentioned, the Anniversary Cup. Wonderful races 5, 6 and 7, sorry. But the next of them will come up in race 10, number 6, Winnie McGugan, $4.80. I think she should have been a lot closer to the favourite in the market here. 1 is Glisten, which is the favourite, which we did tip last week, led, got run down the final part, and it's the only thing that concerns me a little bit. I think it'll lead again, but Winnie McGugan's form's been excellent and does have a strong last section. Can also begin as well. So I think Winnie McGugan will be close enough to run down Glisten, and at the $4.80, definitely want to be on her.
You're listening to GREYS on Tab Radio.
Where we're catching up with Sean Matheson, looking at this big program tonight at Angle Park. First 2 plays, race 3, number 4, Mapunga Roz, race 10, number 6, Winnie McGugan. On to the third of your plays tonight, Sean.
The third of them is in race 11, and it's number 7, Just Alfie, for Lauren Harris. I actually think there's not much difference between the kennel mates here, Just Alfie and Yoda Lady, who's the race favourite. And we did tip Yoda Lady last week in the heats of these races and got the job done. I just think Yoda Lady, though, from box 2, she's going to get the squeeze early. So I'd just be risking her a little bit. And I think with Just Alfie, drawn out, needs to begin slightly better, but was getting home really well last week when running 4th. Did win at Angle Park 2 runs ago in 31.10. So around that, going to have to go about that 30.90 time, I think, to win this. But I think at the $6, David, I'd be more inclined to be on Just Alfie with the belief that he's going to get a bit more of a clearer run to the first turn and then can run home well.
Fair enough too. So Alfie at the price there. Each way play tonight, punters. Race 11, number 7, Just Alfie. Well done to Yoda Lady. $4 last week was a very nice pick from you. Okay, race 3, number 4, race 10, number 6, race 11, number 7 tonight there at Angle Park. We've also got Murray Bridge Friday, Gawler on Sunday. Anything for the punters there, Sean?
So just one at Murray Bridge on Friday, and it's tomorrow. Race 9, number 1, El Wampole for Cam Butcher. Form's not great, but is returning after about 6 weeks off. Drawn box 1, not an overly strong field, and should get a nice run to the first turn. So expect El Wampole to bounce back into the winners list tomorrow at Murray Bridge. And then Gawler, again in the last race, race 10, number 8, Marmaduke for Mick Giniotis. Good winner 2 starts ago, not much luck last start, wide draw suit, so I think should be hard to beat. And David, just on the Sandgroper, as I said, wish the club and you guys every success with the race tonight. As much as I would be leaning with Brownie with big energy, I think Mapunga Smoky could be a bit of a smoky for the race. For Jeff Britton, I'd love to see them claim a big one over in Perth. And I was really taken by the way it did win its Perth Cup heat. So Mapunga Smoky on each way basis for your big one tonight.
Hey, you've read my mail beautifully there tonight, Sean. I'm with you. The third in the Adelaide Cup was a cracking run from Mapunga Smoky, and then in our Perth Cup final ran third back to Cannington where the dog races really well. Drawn outside of a dog that wants to get to the inside. I thought Mapunga Smoky could be right there and certainly play a part as well. Appreciate your time as always, Sean. Enjoy all of the chasing action over the next few days and look forward to your company next Thursday.
Terrific, David. Thanks for that.
There we have it, the latest from Sean Matheson. They have got a tremendous program as store tonight there at Angle Park with those anniversary cup heats, races 5, 6 and 7. Maddie, we're once again not too far away from more racing action. Rockhampton comes up in just a couple of minutes' time.
And at Hawkesbury, the dibs there are through on the opening race. Bianco Nero pays $4.70, $2.90. Summer Soiree $1.10. NTD Outcast Girl $4.10. Quinella $9.70 Exacta. $29.70 Trifecta. 6.175 first 4. $64.70. Sub 1 scratching 2 and standing by for weight. At Rockhampton, the favourite tote is Come In Spinner, $3.80, number 8 in the first leg of the quad. There's $5,000 in. This is the main quad. And $7.50 into $3.10 in fixed betting with Tab Touch. They're at the start.
This is your home of the Greyhound Good Oil. Great GREYS.
And great greyhound racing right around the nation over the next few days. Sandgroper here, anniversary cup heats there as we touched on in South Australia tonight. And it is the egg final night on Saturday night, one of my favourite nights of chasing on the calendar each and every year. We've been left with a stunning final to look forward to there at Wenny Park on Saturday night. Lots of great chasing and races around it. Let's welcome in the man that knows all about the form across there in New South Wales, Simon Orchard. Welcome, Simon.
G'day, Shorty. G'day, listeners. Mate, to borrow a phrase we used last year and coined a couple of times, I'm fizzing, mate, of the proposition of Saturday night. We're hosting it, of course, on the dogs.com.au. We'll be there throughout the night. Myself, Tim, the Battler Newbold, Mick Cowley will be down on the track, and hopefully we can find you plenty of winners. But it really is one of the best nights on the card. We've lost the new sensation and the Magic Maiden, obviously being run last Saturday night, but still 2 Group 1s, the Egg, the Association Cup, the Ultra Sense, which is going to be a ripper of a race, and the Embrus Soli, mate. So plenty to look forward to. Hopefully we can find you a couple of best bets on the night.
You are tuned into Shorty and the team on Great GREYS.
Where we're chatting to our great mate Simon Orchard, talking all things New South Wales greyhound racing in the build-up to Golden Easter Egg. A final night out there at Wentworth Park on Saturday. That Association Cup final was a cracker as well. Valpolicella, the Flying Queenslander, taking on Palawa King, who was magnificent last week in the heats. Kenya Amy, great run. Al's Entity. It's another tremendous Group 1 classic to look forward to Saturday night at Wenny Park. There's, of course, Dapto chasing as well this evening. Simon, will handball across to your great self and you can talk us through good plays for the punters to get involved with over the next couple of days.
All right, Shorty, I shall try. We'll start with the Association Cup, mate, race 5 on the big card on Saturday night. Look, the bookies have it as a race in 2 at the moment. Valpolicella, Palawa King. I think Kenya Amy, you hit the nail on the head. It hit the line like a freight train in the heats last week. I spoke to Dave Smith on Monday. He reckons the dog is going to show a stack of improvement this week. Trialled at the Gardens, almost broke the track record last week as well. So maybe she's one to watch at odds, but I still think it's a race in 2 between the champ, Palawa King, 4-time Group 1 winner, and Valpolicella, a Group 1 winner in her own right. I'm leaning towards Valpolicella from box 8. Look, I think they're both going to get back, as we know, and both going to run on. I just think Valpolicella might sit a little bit closer to the speed. And we know Palawa King at his absolute best can duck and weave his way through almost any field. The only knock I've got, Shorty, and it's probably not fair really, is his record at Wenty Park. Hasn't had a lot of opportunity in staying races, but yet to break 42 seconds for the track and trip. Valpolicella a PB of 41.80, and as I said, from box 8, she's going to get a lot of room to move early, and maybe that'll be the winning formula for her. So I like Valpolicella, but I do think Palawa King's going to be right up there behind her. Kenya Amy, maybe the improver, and maybe one at odds if you want to play an each way. That is Misty Black, who ran within a couple of lengths of Palawa King late last year through those Group 1. So Valpolicella, race 5, number 8, the first of the best bets. I can't tip you much in the Embrasoli, but as far as the ultra sense goes, I like Speedy Pie. So it's race 6, number 3, Speedy Pie for Jason Magri. He's got 2 runners in the race. I just think early speed, potentially, you're going to have 7 dogs across the track as they go into that first bend. But I think she's still a dog on the rise. 13 starts for 8 wins, and one that has a bit of promise. I think it's 5 or 6 wins on the bounce at the moment for Speedy Pie, and going to need some luck going into that first bend, but leg speed, the dog beside her, is the only dog I can't see contesting the lead, and hopefully that'll give Speedy Pie a bit of room to circle them. So race 6, number 3. The Ambrosoli will skip over. Then the big one, the Egg. Look, how can you go past McKenna? Box 2 sets up pretty well for her. The only knock, I've said it a few times during the week, and the owner, George Alvaro, has the same opinion. Furness in 1. Just goes off the track a little bit, but gee whiz, the explosive speed we've seen from McKenna the last couple of weeks, 5:40 to the first mark or thereabouts. If she does that again, Shorty, I think it's her race to lose. Second fastest ever time at Wentworth Park in the heats. Backed it up with a 29.28 last week. She had no luck in the $1 Million Chase last year, but we want to see our champions get a fair crack at her, and if she does, I think it's all over bar the shouting. So no surprises. I'm going with McKenna, race 8, number 2. It's a stacked field, though. I think Nat Al-Shiba's going to run a good race from the 4, but I just can't go past her, Shorty, and I just hope she gets every bit of luck because she's a star on the rise, if not already. 16 starts, 11 wins, and she's just been scintillating since she arrived here in New South Wales under the care of Michelle Sultana and Daryl Thomas. So that's the big feature card on the night. Outside of the feature races, race 11, number 1, Not Wanted, is the dogs, or the hounds, best bet on the program. So there's maybe another one later in the card if you're still punching away at about 10:47 on a Saturday night. And if you want to have a bet at Dapto tonight, Shorty, just quickly, race 4, number 3, Good Odds Honey, and race 7, number 2, Grey Worm, the best bets at Dapto. 4-3 Good Odds Honey, 7-2 Grey Worm. Mate, you got any thoughts on the big card on Saturday or anything you like to back?
Absolutely, yeah. I think McKenna looks a lock in the Golden Easter Egg final. What we've seen from this girl over the series to this point has been just different gravy. 29.2, 29.28. Those early sectionals, as you touched on, are massive. I can't see them knocking off McKenna. I've got it in a stack of multis already, so I'll be cheering hard for the checks there in that particular race. I thought the Quinella bet with Valpolicella and Palawa King in the Association Cup just looked to me, again, put in takeout stuff. So, sort of getting 2 about one, probably 2 about the other, $4. If you roll the 2 together almost, maybe a bit better with a Quinella, $4.50 to $5, 2 races that I think you're pretty much locked in on. Not too many times in life are you going to be able to roll up to pretty likely circumstances and get around that $5 mark there. 2 plays with really significant confidence on Saturday night at Wenny Park there, I would have thought, for the punters that are looking to have a bet on Saturday on your great card. But the best bet is to tune into the dogs.com.au on Saturday night for elite coverage, I'd suggest there, Simon.
We're going to try our best. Mate, we should just take this chance to give a quick shout-out to Mark Duclos, a wonderful mentor of not only mine, but I'm sure plenty of people in the industry. It was meant to be his farewell last week. Of course, the Egg Carnival pushed back a week, so I think there's a race in honour of the mighty Duke on Saturday night. Not sure if he'll be at the track or watching at home, but a quick cheerio to him as he bows out of, plenty of years of wonderful coverage and promotion of our great sport. So cheerio to Duke.
Yeah, he's been a wonderful man for greyhound racing for many, many years, so I echo those thoughts. Good on you, Duke, and we wish you all the very best heading forward. Great work from our man, Simon Orchard there with Golden Easter Egg Night on Saturday night. Matty, we'll throw back to you. Get the dividends from our most recent race there up there in Rockhampton and then round it out with the Shane train.
And the winner was Tour de Field at 10.20 and 2.60. Rosso Levanto 2.70. Come in Spinner 1.30. Quinella 21.10. Exacta 43.10. Trifecta 137.60. 6.5 8.10 first 4. $800.10. 32.90 3.6 double. The sub 8 and 13 was the scratching, and they are interim paying at Hawkesbury. Tuncurry's first race in 3. Irish Accolade 3.20 number 4 in the first leg of the quaddie, and is 2.60 in from 3.80 with Tab Touch.
This is GREYS on Tab Radio. Go, you good thing.
Yes, one man that'll be cheering home a few good things over the next 72 hours is the Shane Train Williams. He was in sparkling form there yesterday at the Western Trilogy lunch. Welcome to your Train.
Yeah, good morning, Shorty. Good morning, listeners. A great day yesterday, Shorty, at that luncheon, and definitely paid for it this morning.
Fair enough. That's all right, long as you had the good times to level it out. Let's get straight into it tonight. The big race, the Sandgroper. Who do you like?
Yeah, it's a tricky race, Shorty, and it's a great field, and you can look at it many ways. And but I've sort of settled on the 7 Troopeteers. Just think he's well drawn out there. He's had that bit of experience, Shorty, for an Eastern Stater. He's had 4 or 5 runs here now, and he'll be well and truly of that silent lure. But I think the good save could be the 3, Sunset Frazier. We've seen David Hobby lead all the way last year with Crumble Manelli. Place to be's out in front, Shorty. He trialled 29.50. So, yeah, I like 7 from 3. They're both good value, so I'll be cheering them too. And also for my good mate Joe Lanuti, Explicit, I'll be giving that a rev home as well, Shorty, out in the 8.
Indeed. All right, let's get your thoughts. We've got a couple of minutes till they jump for the first of the day at Tuncurry. 2 plays tonight at the big program at Cannington.
Yeah, don't mind tonight's card, Shorty. I'm going to kick it off race 7, number 2, Apple Crumble. Dog with really good early speed. He's been drawing wide, and he's been having to work hard to find the lead. I think he gets a soft lead tonight, Shorty. He can lead all the way, 7-2 Apple Crumble. And then we'll go over race 9, number 4, Eugenius. Dog's in really good form for Jay Jacobson. I think he can find the lead here. I mean, off his 29.7 on Saturday night, it'll be hard to beat there. So 7-2 and 9-4 tonight at Kennington, mate.
Mandurah Friday night?
Mandurah Friday, Shorty. Going to kick it off race 6, number 3, Molfetta Cruz. Really like the way this dog's been going at Mandurah, and I think Nick Minatello, he's got this right. He's given the dog 3 or 4 runs in a row at Mandurah, keeping him there for this race. So we've seen dogs like Sunset Frazier come from Kennington to Mandurah, Shorty, just not handle them different boxes. So I'm pretty keen, actually, Molfetta Cruz. It's a very hard race in the Derby heat, but I really like it, Shorty. So race 6, number 3, Molfetta Cruz. And then a dog that was good to us last week, Shorty, race 9, number 1, Kisses for Chaos. He's got that draw. There's only pay 1-2. He's definitely a top two play there. So he's like a 2x8 style bet there, race 9, number 1. So on top of race 6, number 3, Molfetta Cruz.
A minute to jump to Tuncurry punters. Cannington Saturday night. Best plays there quickly.
Yeah, Kennington Saturday, Shorty. Weston Nugget in the Miata final. He's just the best dog in the race. If he gets any luck, he'll be winning. And then I was very impressed with this dog last week. Outlaw McGraw, race 9, number 3. He's in a sprinter's plate. He trained by Michael Hine, who was in fine form yesterday. 3, 6 and 9, 3 at Kennington Saturday.
And the best from the kennel?
Yeah, like Stevie Manelli on Saturday night, Shorty. Race 10, number 5. She's back to a 5th grade, and she's sort of out wide where she wants to be, so pretty confident there.
Magnificent work. 3-6-9-3 and the best from the kennel. 10-5 Saturday night. Cannington. Outstanding work, Shane. I appreciate your time as always. Look forward to seeing you out there tonight for the Sandgroper.
Yeah, I can't wait, Shorty. Good luck to everyone with a runner, and I hope it's a great night.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelpline.org.au.